I actually had like a funny fake out. Around that time, I got a message that said there's a really important meeting from a producer's assistant saying we have to meet about something really important. And I assumed that I got the job.
Yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
it turned out, I listened to the voicemail again, and that voicemail was for Greta Gerwig.
Oh, no.
Yes. So it could not have been clearer from the universe that this was not going to be my job. I mean, really, I had to laugh about it.
Well, it's not going to be Greta Gerwig's job either.
Yeah, right. Neither of us.
왠지 널 보고 여기도 오고 그러니까 좀 이상한 생각이 많아지네.
무슨 생각?
12년 전에 그때 내가 만약에 뉴욕에 왔었다면 어땠을까? 만약에 네가 한국을 떠나지 않았다면, 그렇게 떠나지 않았고 우리가 같이 자랐더라도 내가 널 찾았을까? 우리가 사귀었을까? 헤어졌을까? 부부가 됐을까? 우리는 아이들을 가졌을까? 그런 생각들.
Welcome to the Actor's Side today. Well, first of all, you know her in so many comedic roles and so many different shows and different projects that she's done. And then, of course, the morning show where she plays the president of UVA News. And now, though, an extraordinary movie and an extraordinary performance in Past Lives for which she's winning high acclaim, lots of awards, recognition, and buzz. Please welcome Greta Lee.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us on the Actor's Side.
Thanks for having me.
What a year you're having.
Yes, yes, I suppose so. It's been wild. It's been very surreal and also wonderful.
Yeah.
We're just so proud of this movie, and we keep finding this audience for it too, not just here but globally. And
Yeah.
it's been really, really amazing.
I saw it like almost a year ago at Sundance.
Oh yeah.
And blown away. It was really the talk of Sundance, and you know,
Yeah.
you knew then that you had something special, I think.
Well, I didn't know then.
You didn't?
Because actually, for me, when we were at the Eccles at Sundance and that final scene of the movie,
Yeah.
and if you've seen it, maybe
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
because we'd never screened the movie for anyone before that moment.
Right.
The moment we premiered at Sundance was the first time we got to share it with an audience.
Oh, wow.
And we had no idea how it was going to be received, and specifically the end.
Right.
And I remember sitting in that theater and thinking, oh no, people are getting up to leave. Because there was like a foot dance that was happening, and people shuffling in their seats and reaching for what I didn't know then, tissues and things, because basically it was the experience of people crying en masse. Bodies do funny things. And so we were really surprised,
Oh
and
my God.
pleasantly so. It's just such this like it was an incredible moment for us, really, to experience that.
To see the effect that this movie has on people.
Yeah.
Everywhere. There's a story I heard that your mother was like, there was something, you had no idea what
Yeah.
her reaction was. And until that, I mean, it's...
I can count on one hand the number of times I've ever seen her cry. So you can imagine my discomfort when I saw her after the screening, and she was very emotional and excused herself. And I several days passed before I really could get a sense of what was going on. And she called me, and driving actually, and she said, I'm still crying. I said, oh God, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. And she said, you know, you think this movie is about you, but I am Nora.
Wow, that's obviously the
She said,
character
I am
you play.
Nora. Yeah.
Wow.
And I was totally blown away. really. I think, and it opened up, you know, a whole new conversation that I've never had before with about her immigration story. And there's a line in the movie between the two mothers, Nora and Haesung's mothers, talking about in order to gain something, you must lose something.
Yeah.
And my mom referenced that line, and she said, moving to America and having our family, it's been an embarrassment of riches, and everything, her life has unfolded in a way that is a dream, and yet to reconcile with everything she left behind and the life she never had.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the title Past Lives, which is what's at the core of this movie, or someone's coming from long ago from South Korea, and you're having a reunion of sorts that you didn't, but you are now in America, married, a whole different life, and you are torn between two lives essentially there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that really is what's so incredible about Celine's movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was apparent immediately in the script, and then in the way she directed. I mean, we like to say it really feels like we came for the script and then we stayed for the director. I mean, really, the script was stunning and shocking in terms of feeling like I hadn't read anything like that ever. The way she's managing what could be seen as conventional tropes of, you know, romantic drama or a love triangle, but doing it in this way that is so expansive and feels cosmic and monumental.
Yeah.
And that is just her uncanny ability to do that. But I guess what I'm trying to say about her and this film, it's taking these ideas that are very simple on one hand of, yes, a woman who is revisiting her past in a sense with the arrival of her childhood sweetheart.
Yeah.
And she's also married.
Right.
And
To
there
an
are these
American.
two men, a Jewish New Yorker, and there are these two men who know her in such completely different ways and what that feeling is like. And yet it's also about so much more.
Yeah.
And that has been so pleasantly surprising too, to connect with audiences about what they are taking away from it.
Which is amazing. And both of those relationships are so poignant to watch, you know, and so real. All of these wonderful actors, John Magaro and
Teo Yu,
Teo Yu. Really,
exquisite,
and the way you're playing with each of them is unique. I mean, was there some special way you did that as an actor and approached that?
There were a lot of things. You know, we've discussed a certain experiment that we were asked to participate in by Celine. She had this ultimately brilliant idea to separate the two actors, to separate John and Teo. So that actual moment in the movie when they meet for the first time, that is literally the first time those two actors
So the
met.
actors didn't even meet at a table read or anything?
No. When we did table reads, when we did rehearsals and Zooms, they would turn off their cameras.
Wow.
Yeah. But that, it really was more than just some sort of like exercise or experiment. It was specifically designed to protect and capture these very different relationships that we had to build together in privacy.
Oh, wow.
I had to quickly develop a deep childhood soulmate connection that potentially expands across multiple lifetimes with an actor in Korean. And also simultaneously create this relationship with John that is a real multidimensional, actual functioning, healthy marriage. And they required such different things, and it was very helpful not to have them observe.
So interesting, unusual.
Yes, I highly, yes.
Yeah, she's a wonderful director, Celine's.
Incredible, yeah.
You know, you almost didn't get this role.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
I didn't get it. I did not get it. Yeah.
You auditioned, you met with her, the whole thing?
I didn't. I initially auditioned, you know, as one does as an actor. I think I put myself on tape. At the time, I was thinking all sorts of things. I thought this is clearly an opportunity of a lifetime for somebody. And I also was aware, you know, I was wondering, is my Korean good enough? You know, will I be able to service what this movie is requiring of the actress who will take on Nora to carry this film in such a delicate and yet deliberate way in 2 different languages. I mean, I was worried about the Korean, all of it. And I put myself on tape and just really hoped. And then I was rejected.
Oh.
And then, but as it
call
happened,
saying, no way.
I got a call. I actually had like a funny fake out. Around that time, I got a message that said there's a really important meeting from a producer's assistant saying we have to meet about something really important. And I assumed that I got the job.
Yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
it turned out I listened to the voicemail again, and that voicemail was for Greta Gerwig.
Oh, no.
Yes. So it could not have been clearer from the universe that this was not going to be my job. I mean, really, I had to laugh about it.
Well, it's not going to be Greta Gerwig's job either.
Yeah, right. Neither of us.
That's what you get for being Greta, and Greta's a big name right now with you two.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, a year later, and it's funny, I almost feel like my experience of getting to do this reflects some element of the movie, of Inyeon.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I have Inyeon with the script. and just the fact that a year passes and it was cast with other actors, and I got this phone call completely out of the blue asking would I be willing to meet with Celine Song for this movie. And that same day, and I really couldn't believe it. It gave me no opportunity to kind of engineer a performance or even get like a Korean coach, or I just had to take a huge leap of faith. And I think ultimately there was something really liberating about that, because I just thought, I've already lost this once. So what if I think about how would I want to do this in my dream of all dreams if I got some magical chance to play Nora? How would I want to do it? And I did that with Celine over Zoom. And it's also like the movie. It's also like Nora and Haesung talking over Skype. Celine and I met over Zoom.
Wow.
And we read scenes together in Korean and in English. And we talked about her extraordinary vision for the movie. I mean, that thing that I was trying to describe of taking these really intimate and small moments and making them massive and making them feel like we're transcending time and space. That there's like a sci-fi quality to it. And we were scheming together, almost like 2 little girls trying to imagine, could we really pull this off? And I was so moved by her ambition and just the clarity and the unapologetic vision that she had. And then she gave me the job on the spot.
Fate. You know, that's what they call it.
Yep.
You were meant to play this role, and when you see it on screen, you can't imagine anyone else doing it. You know, you just inhabit it. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
And you inhabit the morning show too, which I'm obsessed with. I told you before we started this. It's such a, you know, it's just like, I just want more, you know, it's like high opera in some ways. You never know where it's going, and you're just playing an incredible character there. She's so fun to watch, and she's really climbing that corporate ladder there.
Yes, I very much enjoy playing Stella.
Shows the power. It says a lot about a power of women in this business, and it has a lot to say in watching these characters.
Absolutely.
Manipulate and be manipulated and all kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, I love that we just get to see a woman in power.
Yeah.
But it's even more than that. We get to see how complicated it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy, and I love those actors to death. I mean, Billy and I could not love the work that goes into doing that show, athleticism and the stamina.
Oh.
Before each season, we have to retrain ourselves collectively to speak faster.
Oh, so
And we like to joke, you know, whose idea was it to talk this fast? Because now I have to recreate that cadence.
Yeah. It was, so
every
you had
time.
some really interesting stuff in this season 3. Particularly, looked like you were going to get Billy Crudup some job there.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I'm watching. She's telling him.
Yes.
You know, that was really not expected. Yeah.
I appreciated that decision. It was an emotional decision.
Yeah.
And it shows the nuances of, you know, it is a workplace drama, but it is also about life and about these relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, you never know where it's going to take your character. I know the next season we're not going to see until 2025, I'm told. They're just starting to do it. But
Yeah.
do you have
We'll
any
see.
input about where you'd like to take
We're just starting to talk about it now. It's all I can say. It is very exciting. Yes.
Okay, so you had Past Lives.
Yeah.
All this acclaim. Morning show, everyone's watching. That wasn't enough. Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man.
and you're playing something that's very much in the news now, AI.
That's right.
Assistant.
Yep.
And what's that like? Do you enjoy doing that kind of work? You know.
I love it. I mean, I really feel I couldn't have done Nora if it weren't for. I mean, Nora exists on the wings of all of these other supporting characters that I've gotten to play,
Yeah.
who I love. I believe so firmly in that is it Stanislavski, that they're no small parts, they're only small actors. I really believe that, and I get so much out of being you know, utilized in that way, in very heightened ways, in these supporting roles, and I've loved the various women that I've gotten to play.
I know,
feel
even
really
if it's
lucky about
voiceover.
that.
I loved Strays, the movie Strays.
Yes.
You played Bella.
Yes.
Yeah, you played Stella on Morning Show, Bella on...
Bella, yeah.
Bella was great.
Yes, that was really fun. I've never gotten to voice a dog.
Yeah. Any special acting technique for that?
Yeah, I mean, nothing that I can really recommend. I think, you know, every actor needs to go on that journey individually. Yeah, I'm not going to prescribe anything to anyone.
A lot of people know you from Russian Doll, and of course, you know, you had one line over and over and over, and it was really interesting kind of role, and so much comedy that we saw you do, and you work. You know, I wrote their names down. It's like Amy Poehler, Amy Schumer, Tina Fey.
Yeah.
You had a chance to work with all of these amazing women.
Yep, those are my
comedy
ladies.
talents, you know, and I think that's why you got such a reputation for comedy too, to work with these kind of people.
I think that it's no accident that I got my earliest opportunities through women.
Yeah.
I mean, and women in comedy, and I think for me as an actor, I could appreciate that some of these comedic roles could give me the most sort of, I don't know, like a self-education just in terms of acting.
Yeah.
To be able to play such wildly different women, often in comedy, allowed for that. But I really feel like and I'm getting asked, you know, what's it like to go from comedy to drama, but I heard, I think Matthew McConaughey was talking about how he really approaches comedy as a drama and drama as a comedy.
Okay.
And I had to wrap my mind around that when I first heard it, but then I absolutely agree. I mean, I really feel sort of genre agnostic. I mean, clearly I'm playing a puppy and also an AI robot and also Nora, so there's something going on there. But
yeah.
I do feel that with Past Lives, for example, the silence and the timing, I mean, what is comedy other than tension and timing? That is what we were doing for Past Lives. That is drama. And also, how can you not appreciate the inherent sort of like cosmic joke of the situation of a woman walks into a bar with her Korean sweetheart and her Jewish New York husband. You know, I mean, that situation is so inherently, I mean, if not comedic, but you have to appreciate that that is sort of the beautiful absurdity of life. And
so you're from LA, aren't you?
I am.
I knew it. So you went to school and you got into drama that way? Did you just like knew you were going to do this, or?
You know, I have such a hard time answering that question for some reason. I mean, you'd think I think because growing up, acting just never seemed like a actual career that I could pursue. Yes, at the time there were, I think maybe one or two other Asian women who I could look to. So I think it happened much later for me, in terms of deliberately deciding, yes, I'm going to become an actor. And even then it always felt kind of theoretical, like, am I an actor?
Right.
But it was always chasing this feeling of whether it was through dance. I danced a lot and was very serious about dance, and also singing. I did musical theater. But with acting as well, it's this feeling. And it's kind of like with Past Lives, and I keep going back to this movie, but so many people have said from all over the world who look so different from me and have totally different life experiences, just that they've said, I know that feeling about the movie. And that to me is sort of maybe the best way I can describe why I wanted to become an actor, or why it is that I'm continuing to do this.
Were there actors, you mentioned there's very few big Asian actresses out there that you can like latch onto and say, okay, I'm going to be that. You wanted to be other actors, right?
I loved Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer was your inspiration.
I still do. I love Val Kilmer.
What was it about Val Kilmer?
As
Batman?
A young girl, no, as the Saint.
As the Saint, yes, not Roger Moore, who played it before him.
No, sorry, Roger. No, I really, as a girl growing up in my household, I was really attracted to this idea of a very kind of masculine and athletic kind of performance.
Right.
I don't know. I think that just seemed like that. It felt like, wow, how freeing to be able to take on something like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, over the years, getting to know other actors, then it became something else. And I got introduced to the work of Maggie Cheung and Tony Leung and Charlotte Rampling and Julie Delphi.
God. Didn't you love her?
I have loved that kind of performance. And you know, and I didn't think I'd be lucky enough to be able to do something in that style.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy I got to with Past Lives.
And now the floodgates have opened, I guarantee you. You know, you're going to get a lot of opportunities to do many different things. We all look forward to seeing it too.
Oh, thank you
Greta
so
Lee,
much.
thank you for joining us on the Actors Side.
Thank you for having me here.